to a real episode.
Yeah.
And for anybody listening, don't worry. It won't be like this. This is actually... I decided not to get involved with it and explain my screwed up life, which led me to just hating your cult. But
right. If I could do it, anybody can.
Because the first year, I loved the cult. I wanted to be a part of the cult. I chased her.
And that's probably why you're still sober today.
Yeah, because I chased her. I had the right hymn. I bought into the cult. I had the right people around me. And that's it. I mean, ultimately, if you look at anybody's first successful year, they chased a her, they followed the hymn, they went to meetings, they rinse, repeat. And you try to squeeze in a job. If you're in your 20s, you're just trying to squeeze in a job. If you're a teenager, I don't even know. I really don't know how you get sober as a teenager. I don't even have advice for somebody who's a teenager trying to get sober. Like, calm down. Go to school. Calm down.
Yeah.
You're just going through a bad phase. Now, at 21, if you're still drinking and using and you got a problem, then yeah, I've never sponsored anybody below their 20s, so I don't even know what that nutshell looks like. But being in my 20s, I have a unique perspective on sobriety because I was, quote unquote, what was it the old timers would say? You're too young to get sober?
Oh, yeah.
I hate that. I hate that.
Your hair's too long.
Yeah, whatever.
Get rid of the leather pants and put on a button up and
You can't
tie.
share at the meetings.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't know shit and you're old and you're angry.
Yeah.
And I don't want what you
Bitter.
have. I would love to go back and turn around and
bitter
go...
and brittle.
Bitter and brittle. Could you imagine being in your first year and looking at those people going, you're fucking old and angry. I don't want a fucking thing you have. Go write about it. Go beat a sponsor. I've said this. I am fascinated with some of the shitbags that sponsor people and like literally allow their fucked up shit to become a sponsee's fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like they are literally passing on bad, evil shit to another generation. And they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And then that generation who's fucked up, mental, insecure, neurotic, like, fuck. And they sponsor people. Like, they're, like, do people get the responsibility? Do they even remotely understand the responsibility level of getting someone sober? That it's literally life and death.
I do.
So you have to take all your shit out of the equation and strictly stick to the book. Like, in the first year, that would have been really fucking helpful. Really fucking helpful. Instead of, I don't want to hear your opinion. I don't want to hear about your life. I don't really care about you as a human being as my sponsor. I mean, I'm just being perfectly honest. You're going to fall into a father or mother role no matter who I am. But that's going to happen. I'm fucked up. I'm probably fucked up because of my family. I'm drinking and I'm using to get away from how I feel about my family, right? Real or imagined. And I'm not even here to dive into that part of that.
Right.
And now I got a sponsor who's passing their fucked up shit on to me. I get a year or two sober, and I still wet behind the nose and ears. And they're telling me to go sponsor other people? How fucked up? Like, I want everybody listening to this to take a mental step back, okay? Hopefully you have a drug relapse of some kind and you're like, fuck, he speaks the truth, or I'm having a flashback. Whatever. Think about why people relapse. I'm going to put it directly on people not being able to sponsor correctly. It's not the meetings, it's not the fellowship. It's not. Nobody wants somebody else to go. I strictly think it's about people getting bad sponsors in that first year that fucked them up. Like, you're lucky you got a home run.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I did, absolutely, and that's why he's...
And I got lucky, there. And I got a guy who was first run home run. Like,
I mean, my NA sponsor's doing life in prison.
Right.
Yeah, he joined the wrong motorcycle gang.
But you got lucky. He didn't put any of his bad shit on you. He just did what he had to do to get you sober.
No, and he could have learned from me, and he'd probably be free walking around right now. But,
right. But that's what I mean. Most people don't take the time to remove the self from the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
For those wondering, I'm what's called a one-hit wonder in the business. I stopped drinking and using the very first time, and I did it for the rest of my life, to this point. Yes, I don't go to meetings, so therefore I can't qualify in your cult. And I don't take cakes anymore because I just think it's too hypocritical. That's fine. But what I am saying is the first person I followed was a one-hit wonder as well. And
Aren't you coming up on an anniversary?
Yeah, it's September 23rd. 1993.
Me too. Mine's the 11th.
24. 24 is a lot. Somebody said this the other day. What do you like? It's like a running joke at my jiu-jitsu place. Like, how many years has it been? It's going to be 24. It's 24. So it's a lot of years. It's a lot of years.
It's a lot of hours.
It's by the way, it's so long that at this point I do think I need a drink.
Great.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to reward myself.
Well, we know what the topic of next week's episode will be.
Right. Well,
getting sober after going out after 23 years.
After 23. Well, I don't know. I could have won the lottery last night. What was that? $550 million?
Did somebody win?
I don't know. But if I win...
Neither do I, and I didn't buy tickets, so I figure I saved $6.
Wait, I'm going to tell you this. If I do hit $550 million...
Oh, right to Colombia, and you're taking me with.
Yeah, right. I'm already booking Betty Ford before I leave for Vegas.
Right.
What happened in Vegas? It was a great weekend. It was a really good weekend. I managed to break all my relationships, get my 13-year-old daughter never to speak to me again, and lions and hookers.
And 5 of us went out there, and only 2 lived to tell the story.
And only 2 lived the tale, right. The death rule was in effect. Here's the problem with the death rule in Vegas. If you guys don't know, go listen to previous episodes. I've had a death rule on many a party outing. The death rule is awesome, which was in Cabo San Lucas where we almost OD'd a guy on Percocet. Every day we were popping Percocet and mushrooms and drinking beer in Cabo San Lucas and never leaving our room. We watched HBO. So that's back in 91? So that was a big deal. Hey, look, going on vacation to a tropical location, drinking beer, popping Percocet on demand because it was at the local pharmacia. There were people passed out. Like, you had to check people. There were 5 of us who went on the trip. You had to check people for a pulse. So at one point, I had my wits about me after coming down off a lot of cocaine and said, hey, look, if any of you assholes die, I'm buying some como se dice, concrete and putting you into the bay and then going to the embassy and going home. I'm not doing time because you couldn't handle your high in Cabo.
Yeah. With me, it was a shopping cart through the ER doors to the hospital next to the hotel we just trashed.
Just push them in.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did for me.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad the show made a radical turn there at the end. Go to Black and White Recovery. It was getting too programmed for me in this room. You will not find me on any 12-step forum, although you will see my name posting this podcast because I need those people to calm down too. If you're in a recovery 12-step group and you see this and you listen to it and you start writing negative things about this show, I would just love to know what we said that bothered you. Just go to Black White.
Yeah, get rid of that resentment.
Yeah, get rid of it. Write to us.
Write it down. Send it to us.
Yeah, Black White Recovery, 3 words. Black White Recovery.
Don't bother your sponsor. Just send it to us.
At Gmail. Simple as that. If you want to listen to the podcast, Black and White Recovery, if you sign up on iHeart, it does something super cool. Most people don't know this, and this is why I push iHeart over all the others. First of all, they got an app. Second of all, it works for Android and iPhones and PCs. And I even think they have iHeart in cars now, so everybody can listen to the show. But what is great, once you sign up for iHeartRadio and you like the show, they will actually send you an email and notify you when the next show is available. We try to record them on Sundays. It works out. Ian is already setting me up to let me know that football starts in a couple of weeks, and I agree. Now that I have 2 football teams, I went from no football teams in L.A. to 2 football teams in L.A. Go figure. One of them really sucks donkey balls, but I don't,
Are the Chargers playing there this year or no?
No, they are at StubHub. 27,000 seat venue, the smallest in the NFL. So guess what? I couldn't try to throw my money at season seats quick enough.
Right.
And the minute I thought about buying season seats, they were already sold out.
Right.
They're actually excited because they actually believe that they will have nothing but Charger fans at their games for the first time. I said, no, Raider fans will still figure out how to get in there. They will. They just will. I just know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably Raider fans that gobbled up all the season tickets.
All 27,000 seats for every single game.
All 27,000, so nobody go to their game.
The one game.
The only game that would be actually had people in it would be when they came to town.
That's actually pretty funny.
Now, they're not moving to Vegas for a couple of years, right?
About 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
One of the co-hosts from Fight Net Radio, cross-promotion opportunity. Listen to Fight Net Radio if you like boxing or MMA. All you got to do is type in fightnetradio.com. And guess what? iHeartRadio. So,
speaking of Fight Net Radio,
yeah.
What do you think of the debacle next week?
I'm going to Vegas for the debacle, which will probably be the topic of this show next week, which is going to Vegas while you're sober.
Right.
I have a lot to say on that topic. In fact, one of the reasons I'm sober is because I went to Vegas
and gambled.
In my first 90 days. No, I guess I had 6 months the first time I went. I had about 6 months. And it was on for the very first time, and it happened in Vegas. Now, I am not a believer in the light switch theory of zombie-like mode of I have to go do drugs and I have to go drink. It's happened to me one time, and it happened to me in Vegas. And I encountered my... Wait, I'm going to talk real program here for a minute. Don't hold it against me. I encountered my first angel in Vegas, and he turned the switch off within seconds and sort of became my Vegas sponsee so that I could go to Vegas.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be a good story next week. But to answer your question about the debacle, I'm going out there for a Grand Prix to watch a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Grand Prix that's happening on Saturday first, and then I'm going to
watch or participate.
No, I'm not. I'm not competing in this one. Thank God.
Okay.
These are actually the guys above me. Thank God. These are the real legit Brazilian killers.
Guys in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fascinated with this fight. I'm literally fascinated with this fight beyond words. I think that the first 4 rounds are the whole fight, and then after the first 4 rounds, if Floyd hasn't been hurt, cut, slowed down, broken toe, stubbed toe, slipped on his stool, and was taken out, by hitting his head on the stool. The next 8 are all Floyd trying to knock out, right, Conor McGregor. But the first 4 rounds are really interesting. That's what I think.
I think Conor's going to get frustrated, kick him in the head, knock him down on the campus, and get
take the DQ.
Canvas and get disqualified.
Right, and we've discussed that.
I'd like to bet a disqualification.
You don't have to. That would be winner by DQ or knockout. Like stop. That's stop.
Yeah, but I'm not laying 1 to 5.
Oh, no,
1 to 6.
No, don't take the money. No, you take the money. You take the unders.
I want to find a disqualification.
I like it. Yeah, good luck.
There's got to be 3 to 1.
Good luck. You would think it's not. There's draw money. There's no DQ money on this fight. This fight will have a winner. It'll be winner Floyd Mayweather by disqualification, which will be considered a knockout or a TKO.
Right.
I just don't know how long it takes before Conor loses his shit and throws an elbow. And that will happen.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's going to get frustrated and do something silly that'll get him disqualified.
The trick is trying to figure out when.
Yeah. Right. Which round?
Right.
I like 4-round theory.
That's the whole game.
Has there been a Mayweather fight lately that hasn't gone the distance?
No. I mean, if you're really betting the fight, you bet with the trend, right? And the trend for the last, 10 fights for Floyd are all 12-round decisions. So you'd be a fool not to bet 12-round decisions.
The over-under is always 11.5 rounds.
Yeah, right. So it's actually shorter on this one. I think there's a shorter over-under because they're expecting it, but because they actually think Floyd can knock him out. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you lay off. If you can get close to even money taking a Floyd Mayweather decision, I think you have to take that. But that's just betting with the trend. I can't believe we're doing betting on a show with people.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing. We've covered betting. We've covered crime. We've covered dealing. We've covered drugs.
Well,
So next
okay,
week's
it's
show will
starting
be
to feel-
about
it's
sex?
starting to feel like a regular show, but it was way more pro